So this is my niece, who is 10 years old now, and she's the one who planted 4 mango trees in a pot inside the house as a class project, right? Yeah. How many did you plant?
4.
You planted 4. And then one day, as the plants started becoming bigger, this was last year during the COVID time, as the plants started becoming bigger, she was very clear that these plants needed to be planted at the farm, correct? Any reason why you wanted the mango tree to go to my farm?
So that I can get mangoes.
So you could have planted it in a society over here also, no? Why did you go to the farm?
Because I like the farm.
Oh, you like the farm? And do you like farming?
Yes.
So what do you know about farming? What is the good thing about farming?
Because if we plant a seed and water it, then it can give us fruits and vegetables.
So that's why you like farming.
Yes.
Yeah? So you'll be farming with me?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now it's a contagious thing, it's part of the family. Purchasing the land was one part of the thing, and that got me started. But how do I take it to the next front? And that's where I required help. And sometimes help comes in quarters most unexpected. Like Swami, who I will be mentioning, and who's the integral part of this whole channel and everything, is nowadays called Prem, and he was also a Swami. How I met him is an amazing story. Is one day around 12 years back, I was doing a shoot, and there was this girl who came from the production house and said, "There is this Swami who wants to sit next to you while you're shooting. He just wants to see how you do the work." I said, "Okay." And in comes this Swami, sits next to me. He's bald, he's clean shaven, who's wearing a kurta and a dhoti and sits next to me. And he was the epitome of serenity. Basically, he was calm and he was just sitting next to me.
I arrived at the famous Yashraj Studios. This is where the awards event was happening. I was to spend the next 3 days observing and learning how they did the multi-camera live event coverage. I was not given any brief earlier as to who would be the director I would be shadowing. On the spot, I was introduced to Mr. Ashim Sen. From where I come from, this place was a total contrast. I stood there wondering, did I enter a battlefield? A huge stage with artists performing, a 20+ camera setup, and the center of this was Ashim sir, giving instructions over the mic to the artist on stage, yelling at his crew, calling for his shots. It seemed cursing and swearing were part of the action. But the results it was producing was quite amazing. The precision and details that he was paying attention to caught my eye. I quietly took a seat next to him, sat there watching.
I was very conscious and I was not myself because I couldn't speak freely. And when I'm working, I generally have a tendency to speak very freely. So thanks to Swami sitting next to me, the first 15 minutes went without any incident. But after 15 minutes, I did blurt out some words and I just looked around at Swami and I said, "Swami, I'm really very sorry. I'm not like this. I don't know how these words came." Now this happened 2-3 times. And he started smiling. In the end, my crew were also smiling and laughing and falling all over because those are the words that I continuously use. I told everyone, "Okay, we'll take a 5-minute break." I'm just taking a 5-minute break in a live show, walked out of the room. And then I asked Swami, "Why is it you are here?" So then he explained to me that Sadhguru sent him to learn the craft that I do. So I told him, "Swami, even I'm trying to learn for the last 20 years and I'm still a student. What is it you want from this?" So he said that we do something called as Mahashivratri in Coimbatore, and it's at the Isha Ashram. And it happens, it's a once a year thing, and for that we would like to upgrade our expertise because they were just about to go digital and live with it. So I said, "Swami, do me a favor. You leave right now, but I promise you this, every year without fail I'll be there. I will come and do this." And that's how I got to know Swami. I used to religiously go to the ashram and do the Mahashivratri. And then one year, uh, out of the blue, Swami wasn't there. And I get a call a year later, and I say, "What are you doing?" And Swami was part of the video department, and he was still doing some shoots. And I said, "Why don't you just come down to Bombay and be with us?" And that's how it started. Now, Swami, before he became a monk, he had done agricultural graduationship in Tamil Nadu. And post that, he went for his master's and for his doctorate to Australia. He was there for a year and a half. And in between that, he decided to leave everything and he came back to India and he became a monk. Given this history, I had completely forgotten that Swami was a horticulturist and he would know about the land.
I had done my graduation in agriculture 23 years back. I was passionate about plants and I used to grow my own ornamental plants and vegetable garden in my home even when I was a kid. And obviously, when it was time to go to the university, to college, I chose a course which would allow me to be involved with plants and nature. I was also involved in research as a resource associate, involved in tissue culture.
So one day I was driving with him to some shoot or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. And I said, "Swami, I've got this land and I'm thinking of going organic farming." I just look at him and he had this smile. And that smile said everything. And he said, "You know my background." So I said, "Your background?" And it dawned to me, oh my God, he's an agriculturist. He's a horticulturist. He knows everything about me. He's also into it. So I said, "Swami, why don't we go to the land?" And the very next day, he and I came to the land, and therein started my first course on how to go about organic farming. And his personal interest is with the soil. He has made his own house. It's called the Kutir out in Kerala, which is made out of rocks. It was a rubber plantation, a very small plot, which he's made it into a green, semi-green perma-forest kind of a thing, which is all giving. And sometimes the help that we need or the help that we seek is just around us. All we need to do is just ask. Going forward, what we're going to do is now, Swami will be taking you through every week to the farm, what is happening, what is new, what's old, what are working, what is not working, our trials, our successes, our failures, everything he is going to encompass for you and he's going to present it to you week after week. That's what the plan is.
Of course, there is a knowledge base with the scientists, the Krishi Vigyan Kendra, from whom we will be drawing lots of knowledge and experience from. But what I have found when I traveled around the country, meeting with farmers who have had success stories with natural and organic farming, is that people have gotten trained under experts like Subhash Palekar, for example. But when they come back to their land, they have tried many different variations of the Subhash Palekar technique and evolved their own. And that is the only way this can work, because the soil is different in every place, the weather, the climate is different in every place. There have been many instances where people go look at a successful farming technique, come and try to implement it and then fail. And one of the reasons why it fails is you cannot duplicate it and implement the exact same thing and expect it to work. You will have to see how it will fit into your microclimate, into your land, and then implement it accordingly.
I don't want you all to only see our failures, because failures, while it teaches us, motivation requires aspects of success stories to also come across, and that will come across if we can present them to you. So the idea is, what Swamiji has come up with is that he's going to visit all across India to various successful farms, and from those farms he's going to get the success stories for you.
If you have somebody around you whom you think that we should come and meet, put that down in the comments and we will definitely come and meet those farmers and we will share this knowledge with everybody else.